Sorry about that one, Chippo. Ooh. You know, I've got a headache, man. I've got a coffee with me. It's a struggle. Guess what? I come back after Christmas, Chip. Mm-hmm. Yeah? And what do I find? My gaff's been robbed. Oof. Ask me what they took, Chip.
What did they take?
He took a limbo bar. My limbo bar. I mean, really, how low can you go? Anyways, come on, Chip. Tell me. What's today's case?
Today,
let me have a little sip of this coffee.
Today, we have a case that actually involves a man that has
Yeah, this coffee hits. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
A man that has featured on a podcast himself and apparently has his own YouTube channel and is also one of Brazil's most famous serial killers. His name is Pedro Rodrigues Filho. Killer Pete is what they call him.
Yeah, Killy Pete.
Nah, it's Killer Pete.
We got a typo on
We've
the dot.
got a typo. We've got
typo on the dot.
Someone's getting sacked.
Now, you might be wondering, ooh, what are these big, sexy black items in front of you? Well, we're using these mics today because we just wanted to try them out, see what the vibe is. So let us know if you like this.
It's been a technological upgrade in 1950s New York or whatever it is. And we're just trying it out.
So we were a little bit nervous about doing this case purely because, well, one, he's out of prison. Two, he is on YouTube, which means the chances of him seeing this video is extremely high. So, Pedro, hi.
I appreciate what you do.
Well,
in a sense, you've done some good stuff, but you've done some bad stuff.
You have done some bad stuff, but we'll just get into that now. But we come in peace.
Yes.
Now, in the middle of a Fellas Mysteries episode, it would be so wrong not to have the homies from Manscaped give you guys a little talk about their New Year's package. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are you excited for in the new year, Chip?
Kissing my homies.
And trimming your ball sack, okay? So that is what Manscaped are here to help you guys do. Now, listen, right? They've got the Performance Package 4.0. Now, that sounds very lethal. And it's not lethal. It's helpful, right? And what you can find is their Lawnmower 4.0 in there. And that is an electric trimmer designed to trim your balls, as you would expect. Because a lot of people are curious, you know. We often assume the viewers of this show already know what the lawnmower is, but it's important to remind them sometimes, you know. What else they get in here is they get something called the Crop Preserver. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, the Crop Preserver is an anti-chafing ball deodorant. Now, Chip wears it every day, don't you, Chip?
Every day.
Every damn day.
Those ball stranglers won't get me.
They won't. And for on-the-go freshness, after you leave the gym, you'll love the Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray. Look, they got everything in this package, right? Absolutely everything. Chip literally sets it up in an order and uses it one by one every day. It's part of his morning routine now.
Absolutely.
Now, guys, if this is of any interest to you guys, then you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code MYSTERIES at manscaped.com. So, guys, that's 20% off and free shipping with the code MYSTERIES at manscaped.com. Yeah, don't miss out on that, and make sure you treat your balls the way they want to be treated in 2022. Ain't that right, Chip?
Absolutely. Happy New Year, Manscaped. He's actually been compared to Dexter. If you've watched the TV show, Dexter Morgan, a man who killed people, but with like a cause, you know.
Yeah, he had a reason to do it, didn't he? So, some would argue it's vigilante, right? Yeah. Style serial killer. Mm-hmm. But look, right? He was officially sentenced for 71 murders, but he claims to have killed around 100.
Serious numbers then, man. Serious numbers.
Mad. Nuts. KD ratio off the charts,
Yeah,
man.
you start getting medals for that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think in this case he did get a medal. Let's talk a little bit about Pedro Rodrigues Filho.
So we got Pedro. He's born on the 17th of July in 1954. That's actually only 4 days after me. But it's about 40 years early.
50? No, it's not.
Yeah, it's 40 years early.
Oh, yeah.
4 years before me. Come on, man.
Let's
do the maths.
Yeah,
anyway, he's born on a farm in Santa Rita. And whilst his mother was actually pregnant with him, his father actually kicked his mother in the stomach I don't know. And it resulted in him having a bruise on his skull from birth.
That is terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
So straight away, parents, or well, one parent, sounding a little bit dodgy.
Not a healthy relationship between mother and father, and we'll go more into that. But often with these cases, as always, guys, when it comes to serial killers, they tend to not have the best childhoods. And once again, we have seen that again repeated here. So at the age of 13, that is when Pedro claimed to have his first urge to kill.
Yeah.
Right. It sounds quite dramatic. And it was all when he was having a fight with his cousin. Now, at the age of 14, his dad was actually fired from his job as he was accused of stealing from the school kitchen. So Pedro took things into his own hands, and this is where we were talking about that vigilante, and maybe this is coming from an early age. This is how it started. 14, right? Yeah, 14. Pedro went and shot the deputy mayor of Santa Rita, right? So he just went straight to the top, and he saw that as like a form of revenge for accusing his dad of stealing. But it didn't end there, because then he went and killed the security guard who he believed was the one that actually stole.
So he's like avenging his father there.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
It ain't happening. It ain't going down like that. He's 14 years old, managed to get hold of a gun, just gone and killed 2 people.
And he wasn't arrested. Nothing had happened. In fact, after he committed those crimes, in public, by the way, he went to seek refuge in Sao Paulo. Now, Sao Paulo in Brazil, if you guys know much about Brazil, it's pretty rough. Like, these are not like Brazil, these areas, they're not, it's not like going to Manchester, right?
You've just tried to say it like as in Manchester is like some really premium
nice
place.
No, it is. Manchester is a nice place.
Yeah, it is a nice place. Certain bits.
Right. Okay.
Just like anywhere, really. You know, you've got your shit.
Good parts and the bad parts. In Sao Paulo, he met a woman, and he moved in with this woman. Her name is Maria Aparecida Olympia. Hopefully, I haven't butchered that name. And she ended up becoming pregnant with his child, and unfortunately, sadly, was killed by a rival gang leader. And you can imagine, obviously, Pedro, with his history, this did not go down well.
All of this actually resulted in him setting up his own gang. And when he finally found out who that rival gang leader was, he went ahead and he killed 7 people, wounded 16, and this all happened at a wedding.
Bro, this guy is like the Terminator.
Yeah, he's rocked up to a wedding, you know, like Game of Thrones, bang, bang, bang.
7 people dead, 16 wounded. Mate, like, how is it? This guy is unstoppable. Like, look, I get it. He is doing some horrible things. People are dying, right? But it sounds like quite a few of his victims, at least now, tends to be like gang-on-gang violence. And that's probably where a lot of these murders ended up happening. But, yeah.
This was before the age of 20, by the way, still. So he was already close to killing around 10 people or possibly even more. And then he goes on to get arrested for the first time on 24th of May, 1973 at the age of 19? Yeah.
Your maths is actually kind of on point today.
Bro, I just had to do it to him anyway.
Now, Pedro was being transported under the custody of the police, and there was actually another prisoner or inmate in the van with him. And what does Pedro go and do? Pedro kills the guy, right? But he does it so sneakily as you can kill someone, I suppose, that the police didn't even notice that he had killed the guy in the back of the van, right? And then, obviously, they found out when they went to see him, and they asked him, why did you do that? And he said, because he found out the guy was a rapist. Ooh, so again, like vigilante, it's always...
He's avenging, you know... The
in his mind.
Yeah, in his mind, he's going ahead. He's doing a good thing, almost.
I think that's probably what it is.
that's what he's seeing it as, or at least that's the way it's coming across. So he eventually does get sentenced, and the numbers... they're not low. He gets sentenced to 126 years of imprisonment.
He's not getting out anytime soon?
No, not at all. But he could be released in 2003 because Brazilian law does not actually allow anyone to be locked up for longer than 30 years, which is actually quite strange.
So you can commit the most outrageous crimes, and no matter what, you are not getting any more than 30 years. That seems a bit nuts.
Actually, in 2019, it has been increased to 40 years.
Mate,
Which
that is still nuts.
It's still kind of crazy. But anyway, during an interview, he actually said he got a thrill out of killing other criminals. Like what we said, it kind of
Yeah, I
makes
mean, you
sense.
must do, mate. If you've killed this many people, you're not doing it because you don't like to do it.
And his favorite way of killing them was stabbing, or hacking them to death. So
it's brutal. It's not like
He had a
poison them and then it's a slow death.
He had
like,
a method.
It's violent.
Yeah, he did like the violence.
In fact, he once killed a cellmate that he had in prison for snoring too much.
Right. Okay. Now that. Come on, man. He was doing his time, He, maybe he was trying to correct his life and become the best prisoner, good inmate. And then he's just snored a bit too loud, and that's it. No, I'm not having
Could you imagine if you got told, your cellmate is Pedro today? I swear to God, I wouldn't get an ounce of sleep thinking if I snore one time, this Donny's finishing me. He's hacking me.
If you
to
are
death.
on the 19th year of a 20-year prison sentence, okay, you have been the best inmate. You've
Getting off on good behavior.
You've rehabilitated everything. You've helped the prison build a nice library. You teach the prisoners. Pedro comes in. Nah, he's a fucking criminal.
He's snoring. To further the fact that he enjoys this killing side of things, he even has a tattoo on himself that says, "I kill for pleasure."
Okay, so maybe he doesn't believe he's doing a good thing and he just likes killing.
Well, I think that's pretty clear at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was down for the vigilante story to begin with.
Yeah, no,
Not
it sounded.
sure where it's
I was getting like Brazilian Batman vibes, and
Not so much anymore.
no.
Got another story for you about Pedro in prison. There was a time where 5 other inmates tried to ambush him, catch him by surprise, right? But Pedro, being the absolute Terminator that he is, he's gone and killed 3 of them, and the other 2 escaped. Hey, imagine
Probably
5 people
not
jump
for long.
you, and 3 of them are dead, and 2 managed to get away. This guy is built so different.
This guy's a villain. He is a villain.
How do you, and
is like
we're not
some
talking
other
about we're not talking about like 5 kids have jumped him. We're talking about 5 other inmates,
Yeah.
5 other people that are in there probably for violent crimes as well. I've tried to jump him, and 3 of them are dead.
How are you gonna lose a 5-on-1?
Bro, for real,
How are you gonna lose That's outrageous.
a 5-on-1. He almost got the full squad wipe.
To no one's surprise, his crimes in prison, they kept adding up. They
They gave him how many more years?
This man didn't stop. He kept adding years to his sentence. In fact, it went up to 400 years.
So he's got 400 years, but obviously the way the Brazilian law works,
So
it
what
don't
they
make a
do?
difference. They just extended it to 2017. Cases still get out.
It's just like that, adding numbers for nothing.
But yeah, what's the point?
But anyway, his sentence was extended to 2017, but he is, like we've spoken about, already out. And whilst he was in prison, he killed his dad.
Hold up.
He killed his-
Rewind
let
the
me-
tape.
I
Chip.
know.
What did you just say?
He killed his father. Now I've got to run you through the details because it
This
makes
is
more
nuts.
sense. Let me make it make sense. He killed his father for killing his mother.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that is, at least it wasn't for snoring too loud.
Anyway, so apparently the father had killed the mother because the mother had betrayed the father.
Okay.
Newsflash, that was a lie. Pedro knew that was a lie. Obviously, he's gone ahead.
So he felt like his mother was killed for no reason.
Yeah. And the father actually used a machete as well to kill Pedro's mother. So it's
So it's brutal.
Very
That's great.
hate-fueled crime there. But yeah, he actually also, whilst he was killing his father, took a bit of his heart out and ate a bit and then spat it out.
No way.
That's
You're lying.
that's
You
the
must be
intel
lying.
I have.
Wait, so this Don kills his dad
Yeah.
and yams his heart.
Yeah. Oh, it's important for me to say as well. They were in the same prison, obviously, because his father killed his mother. He got
was
put
in
in the
prison.
same prison.
What? Bro,
Yeah.
this story just gets crazier and crazier. Now, that story that you just said there, he actually told it on a podcast.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Like I said, this guy's active online now, right?
Maybe we should get him on as a guest.
Maybe over Zoom. If you guys are interested in checking out this podcast, it's called Cortez do Flow Verso. Anyways, that has 172,000 subscribers, so that's going pretty well. Now, they asked Pedro, would you kill again, right? And he said no. Well, not no, but he said no, I would only kill again if someone came to take my life or the lives of people I love who are my family. Right, so whether, I don't know how true that is, but I assume he's been out for a little while now, and I'd hope he hasn't killed anyone since.
Yeah, I would like to hope something similar.
Now, in April 2007, after 34 years of incarceration, he was released. Right, so it wasn't even 2017 that he got let out before that, and he moved to how would you pronounce this, Chip? Sierra?
I don't know if it's Sierra.
And he worked as a caretaker, right? But unfortunately, he was arrested again in September 2011.
Ooh.
Now, according to the news, it was due to charges of things that had actually happened in prison. And the charges were riots and deprivation of liberty. And yeah, that was all for crimes that he did while he was in jail. So they gave him 8 years for that. And then finally, 2018 rolls around.
And
He's now been released.
Okay. Now I want to ask you a question.
Right.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. Okay. Was this man a psychopath?
Chip, he's killed 100 people. And look,
I just want to know.
Look,
what are your thoughts?
I would say that he has psychopathic tendencies.
Yeah, because there's a couple of doctors, a psychiatrist, has gone and described him as
The perfect.
But before that, paranoid and antisocial.
I think it's safe to say he was pretty antisocial, and I would argue that maybe I would give him diagnose him with a few more traits than just paranoia and antisocial behavior.
I don't think you need a degree in.
No, you don't need a degree to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy. But also, another thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
So he is a free man, which we spoke about. He was freed in 2018. He's got his own YouTube channel. And according to my intel in front of me here, he has 22,000 subscribers.
That is impressive.
Yeah. I don't know the name of the channel. I've got the URL, and that is
www.youtube.com/channel.
we ain't going through the full
URL here, brother. But guys, look, that is today's story all about Pedro, one of Brazil's most notorious serial killers. And yeah, we'd love to know your thoughts on this particular case. And do you know any other serial killers that have stories quite like this? Because this is nuts.
Crazy. Pedro, if you would like to have a Zoom call, we would happily do that. I don't know if you speak English.
Yeah.
But
maybe even get a translator.
I would like to have at some point a serial killer or someone who's committed a crime, have an interview with them. That's next for the Fellas Mysteries.
That would be so cool. Let us know who you think that should be with, and do you know if there's any out there that would be willing to...
You got a family member that has committed some horrific crimes but is willing to talk in the Fellas Mysteries?
Guys, thank you very much for watching. It has been the Fellas Mysteries. I've not got anything else to say.
Yeah, and we'll see you all next Monday.
Monday.